Sup folks, StugeGG here with a channel update, and obviously the big news here is that I have started using a webcam. I'm not necessarily going to use it for everything, but as you can see it is here. I will start to utilize it a bit. Not necessarily right away, I am still working on a few things, but I'll talk more about the webcam in a bit. I do want to focus on some actual channel updates, both YouTube and Twitch, and go over a few things, some analytics, where I'm going from here, some goals and things like that. So let's hop right into it. If you do want to jump to specific points, I'll have like notes in the video. If you only care about the upcoming games, if you only care about the webcam details, I'll put a timestamp in there for you. But big news, we're getting really close to 1,000 subs. Obviously, we're hoping to hit it by the end of July here. We're going to miss it by probably quite a bit. We're almost at 950 at the time of recording here. So within the next week, unless we get 50, which probably won't happen, we're going to miss out on that. But we're working on it. We're still trying. We will hopefully hit next month, and then I will have like a big another update video to kind of go over a bunch of stuff for that and to celebrate that, and we'll see where we go from there. I'm also over 200 followers on Twitch now. I've been doing that for a couple months. I'm glad some of the audience is starting to go over. I know it's odd times, but I do really enjoy streaming. I'm going to talk some more about that later as well. But thank you everyone who is subbed, who does follow, or even if you aren't subbed or follow and you just watch and enjoy the content. That's awesome. You're going to notice I'm going to start asking more for likes. It's a big deal, especially once you hit 1,000, to try to get to that next tier on YouTube. They look at you differently once you hit 1K. So if we can get more likes, more comments, it's going to make it not necessarily hit the trending page, but maybe hit the up and coming page and get more viewers, get more subs in, which obviously encourages me to keep going and really reinvigorates me to make better and stronger videos. But thank you again, everyone who is subbed, who is watching, and who does enjoy the content. To go over some of the analytics for YouTube, what I have so far, these are the lifetime numbers. I actually just recently went over 2 million total minutes viewed, and also recently went over, or about to hit 200,000 views as well. So that means you can do the math. That's roughly 10 minutes a view, which doesn't come out to all the videos, but it's roughly like half the length of some of the videos. So it's not too bad. I don't mind it. It works. Generally, that's probably what you see is roughly 50% of watch time is kind of average. In terms of views, the top 50 videos are all Town Salem except Frisky Business, episode 1, which I really enjoyed. But if you just go by watch time, that actually falls all the way down to number 220. So the top 219 videos in terms of people actually watching it and spending the time engaged in watching the video are all Town Salem. So obviously that's the lifeblood of my channel. It's not going anywhere. I've talked many times about possibly scaling it back. We have scaled it back a little bit. I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but it's going to be around for quite some time unless I just lose my mind playing it one day. In terms of where people are viewing from, I'm actually going to bring it up here. Sorry, I'm not staring directly at the webcam. It's new to me to actually look into the webcam while I'm talking, so I'm trying to focus on that, but then looking down and looking up. So it's probably a little bit goofy as you're watching it, but that's okay. So top geographies, I know some people found this interesting when I talked about it before. It's 47% from the US. I thought it'd be higher. It boggles my mind the worldwide audience that I see watching, you know, my videos and stuff like that. And I always like make references to things in the US, not even realizing that half the people are outside the US at this point. But 47% is US, 10% is UK. I'm not going to list every single country and every single percent, but you got Canada at 7, Australia 4, Germany at 3.5. Those are the top 5. Then it goes Sweden, Netherlands, Finland, Norway, Singapore rounds out the top 10. And then there's a ton right around 1% and a little bit less than 0.5%. Just running throughout mostly Europe, a little bit in Asia, South America, not much in Africa, but it's kind of spread out. It's just interesting to see what the big differences are in terms of where all the viewing populace is. Also, in terms of male versus female, this goes by views. The other geographies went entirely by watch time. I don't know why they distinguish that, but the views, it's 68% male, 32% female. So more male than female. Obviously, that's kind of how a lot of the gaming videos skew. Very rarely do you see female over male, but at least I'm not 100% male, so I'm happy with that. In terms of recently, March and April were my best months to date by far. Like, I was killing it those months, and then as soon as it got into May, it didn't plummet, but it dropped significantly, like continuing into June. That coincides with when I started streaming. And I know that's my fault. I kind of scaled back how much I was uploading on YouTube. I was still doing the daily town sale, but I wasn't doing secondary videos. I wasn't as focused on it because I was enjoying the streaming. And that's something I am going to be working on. I'm going to talk about here shortly, to kind of talk about why I like streaming, why I kind of focus on that over YouTube, and why I'm not necessarily reversing that decision, but why I'm going to try to even it out a bit and focus some more on the YouTube, because that's obviously where most people are viewing my content. My streaming can't be watched by a ton of people because, you know, it's a late at night, and like I said, only half of my, if you go by time zones, roughly 60 to 65% are kind of US based time zones. I'm including Canada and South America in there, but that still leaves 35 to 40% that aren't gonna be able to catch a stream that I'm doing at 9 p.m. my time. So it's not necessarily good, but the reason why I am streaming so much and why I really enjoy it is primarily the interaction with people. And that's one of the reasons I got this webcam, is to have better interaction with you guys, the viewers. It really came about because of Town of Salem. And playing Town of Salem, trying to record it, just sitting by myself, you know, I don't like to leave games early. So when I'm dead, I like to sit there and see what happens. And if I'm sitting there by myself, it just lends to getting upset, which then, you know, leads to the next game going poorly, and then just going down that spiral of getting upset, which you actually kind of saw in one of my most recent Town of Salem streams, where I was just kind of off the entire night. And then the final game, like, I don't know if I was getting trolled or what it was, but I got so mad and just started raging at a guy and actually was yelling at him and insulting him, which I hate doing. But since I started streaming Town of Salem instead of just recording it, it's made the game so much more enjoyable for me, because when I'm dead, I still have people to talk to, people to interact with in the chat, and that's what makes it enjoyable for me. In addition to that, there's a lot of games that I don't feel make for great YouTube recordings, but make for better streams. Some examples are things I streamed already, Alan Wake and Prey. If I turned those into YouTube series, it would have been kind of like the length of Life is Strange, where you're getting 20 plus videos. Even if I do one a day, I mean, it's taken a full month to get that out. Whereas the Alan Wake stream, I think, was 3 nights. The Prey stream, I think, was 4 nights. And it's always available on demand, so people can go and watch the video. So it's not necessarily that if you miss a stream, it's gone. So I like doing games like that, which are a little bit longer. And well, I could put them on YouTube, or I could cut them down into like highlights. Kind of story-based games like Alan Wake and Prey don't make a ton of sense for highlights. So I really enjoy playing through those games and actually trying to share it with folks. Because I was getting to the point where everything I was playing was being recorded for YouTube. So when I was coming to games I wanted to play, like Prey was the biggest example. I wanted to play Prey, but if I was so focused on YouTube, I couldn't find a way to work that in. And I wanted to include it in presenting it to, you know, viewers in the audience, but it didn't make sense to try to do for YouTube. So I did it on the stream. Not a ton of people watched, but I did enjoy it. Some people watched the videos on demand, so people did get to see it. So I got to play a game I enjoyed while still making it available to people, and got to interact with people in the chat I was going, so I'm not just sitting there by myself. But I'm going to be looking for a better mix of games, things that make more sense to record and make more sense to stream, and get back to a balance of doing both, rather than just editing Town of Salem and putting that up and then streaming other games. So I'm going to find the games that fit for that. So that brings me to upcoming series that I'm looking at doing, potentially either on YouTube or stream. Most are going to be for YouTube. First off is finishing the Guardians of the Galaxy series. I did the first episode, and my plan was to do it as they came out, but how they're spaced by Telltale, I don't like playing episodic games as they come out. I like getting them at the end. So Guardians of the Galaxy, it was gonna be my test to do it, and then when the second episode came out, I just couldn't remember what the first one did too much. I went to sit down and play it. I'm like, no, I just feel like waiting. So I'm gonna finish that. It's supposed to all be out before the end of the year. As it comes close to like the other ones coming out, I'll start to catch up on the second, third, and fourth. The second one's out now. The third one should be out next month, and it's supposed to be every 2 months until December. If that's how it goes, probably in November I will record the rest of the episodes, and then as the 5th episode hits, put that up immediately. Something else I'm looking at recording, something I bought and it's a game I'd really like to play. I think it might work on YouTube, it might not. I think it might be a better stream game, but I'll probably put it on YouTube. If it doesn't get views, if people don't seem to enjoy it, I'll either play it in my off time or move it to the stream, and that is Deponia in the follow-up Deponia Doomsday. Deponia, the complete collection, is actually, it was originally a trilogy, and then in 2016 they put out a 4th game, which they called the sequel, which is Deponia Doomsday. It's a point-and-click adventure, pretty funny, just from what I've seen. I haven't actually played any of it yet, but it's kind of a comedic, tongue-in-cheek game, which obviously I've enjoyed, and point-and-click, but has a good story to go with it, and you progress through this with the same characters through essentially all 4 games. So we're going to try that out, most likely coming in the upcoming weeks. I will start on YouTube. If it doesn't look like people there are enjoying it, not watching it, we'll, like I said, stop playing or shift it to the stream. Next is going to be probably Resident Evil 7. So I was asking about potential horror spooky games that people might enjoy seeing. Outlast is what was brought up originally by most people, but I've already watched somebody else play Outlast and Outlast 2, so I don't think I really want to play it. I don't think my reactions would be genuine if I tried to do it. So most likely it'll be Resident Evil 7. I specifically, when that came out, did not watch people play it on the chance that I would record it later so I could, react genuinely to everything I see there. That's something I'm mixed on whether I want to stream or put on YouTube. Kind of be the same situation as Deponia is what I'm thinking, where I will start it on YouTube. If it doesn't look like people are enjoying it, I'll kick it over to the stream. I like the ability to edit the videos, to show my reactions, and obviously the face cam here is what ties into Resident Evil 7. And that's why I've waited on doing any kind of spooky games. I want the webcam to be available for that, so you can see my reactions, and I can edit videos to when I get scared. I can do a rewind and slow motion of blown up of the video of me freaking out. So that's the goal for that. If I'm just doing it on the stream, you still see the reactions, but I couldn't edit it down. So likely I want to do that on YouTube, but if you guys would prefer to watch it in like a stream format, I can do a stream and do highlights on YouTube, but probably gonna start with just YouTube on that one. Additionally, we're looking for more spooky games besides Resident Evil 7, maybe some shorter ones that you can do in like short spurts. Something like, I think it's called Emily Wants to Play, I can't remember. But if you guys have any suggestions for spooky games that you would want to see me play, obviously utilizing the face cam, let me know. And I'm also looking for more visual novels in the vein of Frisky Business and Tomboys Need Love 2. Something that's comedic, but doesn't take itself too seriously, but also has the, how do I want to describe it? The awkwardness of me playing and narrating it. So I'm on the lookout for those. If you see any that just leave a comment below and tell me about it. Most of the ones I've seen have taken themselves either way too seriously, have way too graphic themes, not necessarily sexual, but like violent and aggressive, where I just want something goofy and fun. I know there's like the Hoonie Pop series, but so many people have played that, I don't think you need to see me play it. In terms of the stream, I'm probably going to be still going with some PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. I know not too many people check out those streams, not too many people checked out the highlights I put on YouTube or the full episode I put on YouTube, but I really enjoy that game, so that's one I'll probably keep in the rotation, just because I really enjoy playing it and it's something I can play with other folks. So I'm always looking for, if you want to play that game with me, you're more than welcome to, just let me know. But if you can think of any other games that you would want to see me play, I know I've called for this before and gotten a few suggestions. I don't think I've really ever acted on a few of them. I tried a few. Sims 3 I was going to record, or is it Sims 4? Whatever the most recent Sims game I was going to record, but I played it for a few hours, went to look back. I didn't find enough in there for an episode that I would enjoy, so I decided to kind of scrap that. But let me know anything you'd want to see me record. Obviously, I listed a bunch of things, and if I'm going to record all those, it's probably going to take a bunch of time. But I'm always open to hear what you guys think. So that kind of goes over everything I want to talk about with the channel. Basically, thank you all for watching. We're getting close to 1,000 subs, which I'm going to love hitting. Upcoming series, I'm going to try to focus back to YouTube a little bit more, stream a little bit less, probably keep the same stream schedule. Wednesdays for Town of Salem, Saturdays during the day for Town of Salem, probably Saturday nights for something else, and then you rotate between Friday and Sundays to if there's a game I want to stream on there as well. But putting a little bit more focus back on YouTube and hopefully get my viewer numbers back up a little bit. It's not entirely about how many people watch it, but I really do enjoy seeing the numbers when I hit like kind of my peak for Town of Salem, how many people came in and were really enjoying it when I was doing it. So it's more about making sure everyone's having fun, and part of having fun is seeing how many people watch it. But now that we've talked about the channel, let's go ahead and actually talk a little bit about the webcam details. And sorry this video is super long, but just a lot I want to get off, off my mind and kind of keep everyone updated. So I know it's super long, but it is what it is. The webcam, I'm not entirely satisfied with it so far. Right now it's recording in 720p, 60 frames per second, but as I look at it, it looks kind of grainy. So there's probably some lighting issues. Sorry, I'm looking down something. There's probably some lighting issues, some focus issues that I have to work out. But the weirdest thing about the webcam is watching myself talk. The hand gestures all the time. It's weird because this is left, but as I'm looking on the screen, it's my right. This is my right, but as I'm looking on the screen, it's my left. I've noticed apparently my head, I always do the wrong. My head apparently tilts this way naturally, and I never noticed. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just that I'm nervous about recording, but my head seems to have a natural tilt. Looking at yourself in the webcam's weird. It's just really weird. It'll take a while to get used to. I mentioned this on a couple of streams, but before I actually implement it into YouTube videos, I'm going to do practice runs where I do it and then sit back and watch it to see if I do anything weird. I don't want to develop bad habits. I'm used to people not watching when I play, so I'll accidentally, pick my nose or something like that. Not that I sit here picking my nose a lot of time, but a lot of times like you'll scratch your nose, which is perfectly fine, but you gotta get in the habit of not doing something weird. And so I'll do a few test runs of the webcam with videos and see how it goes. But lighting is gonna be kind of a weird issue. As you can tell, I don't have much of a tan, so I've got very pale skin. Right now, this is entirely natural lighting. Background, I wanted to use the Personify Chroma Cam. I'll show you in a second. It doesn't work too well for what I wanted to use it for. It's a bit of a lighting issue. I'm not properly lit, so you see the stuff behind me, or you don't see like parts of my face cut off, but I'll show you that. When this gets put into games, obviously you're gonna have it cut off a bit, like that. Like this part will be cut off, and then the rest of it, so you're not gonna be seeing my refrigerator, my countertop, my toaster, my knives back there, and you won't see so much of the wall. And I'll actually be able to pull the mic a little bit closer to me. I was testing that. I was a little bit worried about certain things, like my H's aren't picking up too well, so when I go to like say hat, if I don't emphasize it kind of falls off the mic. Just because noise suppression and the gate to it. But it'll be smaller obviously in games and things like that, so you won't notice it as much. I probably will go with a green screen setup at some point to make sure that you're not necessarily seeing behind me. It's not too big. I know a ton of people leave their backgrounds behind them. I just hate that you see all the way to my front door. Lighting, it's going to be weird. When it's dark, the light is going to come from this side. That's where my overhead light is. So you'll see like a glow on this side of my face, and this might be dark. I've got to test a little bit more. Millie's probably gonna be getting a light to put over here somewhere to shine here as well, in addition to this light. If I do green screen, it's just putting the screen behind me, getting an overhead light that shines directly on that. Let's see, other details to talk about on the webcam. Not too much, it's just paying attention to the weird stuff. I've got notes I'm looking at, sorry, it's kind of weird. I'm trying to do this kind of in all one sitting, not have to edit it down. I don't like when people talk to the camera and it looks heavily edited, and there'll be some spots here where I stop to get a drink and I'm gonna cut that out. But if it's heavily edited, it looks like you're not actually speaking from the heart and not speaking off the cuff. But it is what it is. This is my first time obviously addressing webcam. But I'm going to now switch over to that Personify so you can kind of see what it looks like. Put that in here, and I'll kind of talk about why I don't think that's something I'm going to use and why an actual green screen is going to work. Though, DX Racer, shout out, send me a free chair or something, I don't care. But the green, I don't know why I thought to buy green. If I do green screen, I had tilted my head again. It's probably that's gonna be goofy, but the rest of it should be good. But here's some clips from the Personified, me talking about that, and then I will be back to wish you well shortly. So here's what it looks like if I phase out the background using the Chroma Cam, or the Personified Chroma Cam, which eats up a ton of CPU and requires me to use OBS 32-bit, which I'm not used to using, so I had to reset things. You'll see it does eliminate the background behind me. Right now it's just black. Start scratching my face. Like I said, I need to focus on not doing stuff for webcam. They've got custom stuff behind you. You can use I can throw my logo, my little splash page art back there, which is what I'll leave up for here. But you'll see it's a software based that nothing behind me is changed. So if I show background, you'll see exact same. Kill it right there. Like I said, the lighting throws it a bit off because coming from over here, there's not, right now it's just all natural light coming in from my window. If I turn on the light that's up there, it lights this a little bit better. But the software just tries to focus on what it thinks is a face and a body and focuses on that. So I can trick it by like putting my arms up. Hold on. Maybe. Okay, so to fully get everything there because it sees this as my body. But as I pull it away, it's gone. It sees the chair. If I turn this way, it starts to lose the chair. If I turn this way, it starts to lose that. So it's not terrible for like a basic stream. I think it would work. But it does eat a ton of CPU and requires me to use a different version of OBS. Not something I would want to do. Man, when I turn that way, I look weird. But it works to an extent. It makes it look like I got like a weird thing up there, kind of, and parts of my face get cut off. But maybe it's something I try to use. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sold on it. I'll probably try to do a green screen setup and see how it goes. Or just let people see the background. Like I said, if you can see that, but if I've got the sides cut off, it shouldn't matter so much. But I wouldn't mind being able to get rid of the background to basically not so there'd be nothing back here. So if I put it in the corner of a game, you can still see everything over my shoulders. Just, I like taking up less real estate on the screen. But that kind of just talks about this personified chroma cam, excuse me. It works to an extent and very CPU intensive. So once my new build is complete, which I didn't actually talk about during my update here, but I am working on a rebuild, which should hopefully let me get a little bit better recording and streaming quality, mostly for streams. For recordings, possibly adding in the webcam as well, making it a little bit easier to record in one go. But let me kick it back to me with my room behind me. So as you can see, I'm not too sold on the personified chroma cam. I probably won't use it. At this point, overall, with a little bit of the webcam quality, it's supposed to be one of the best ones. If I want to take this super seriously, which obviously I do, at some point I will get an actual camera to put on a tripod and stand up behind the monitor and focus on me to get best quality, best picture. For the most part, when I'm just putting myself in the little corner of the screen, it doesn't matter too much. If I'm going to do more stuff like this where I'm talking to you guys directly, I like to get a little bit better of a quality. Not that you need to see my face in 1080p, 60 frames per second necessarily, but I like it. I think this in 720p, for some reason when I'm looking at it, it's a little bit blurry, and I hate if you're going to blow me up on like an action. If you're on a phone, I'm sure I look fine. If you're on your desktop computer, hit full screen, take it up to like 1440p or 1080p, I probably look blurry and I probably look stupid. But it is what it is. Thank you for sitting through this super long update video. I'm sorry it is so long. Hopefully everyone didn't zone out after 2 seconds. But looking forward to where the channel for YouTube and Twitch are going forward. I'm really enjoying it. Again, for a while there I was kind of out of it, but I'm reinvigorated to get more onto YouTube as well as improve my streams. So thank you for sitting through this. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed seeing my smiling face. And as always, please have a great day.